Hi, I'm Julie Kratz, and I do speaking and training on diversity, equity, and inclusion. I truly believe that everyone has a diversity story. Everyone has a story when they felt different, didn't belong, perhaps had to cover or minimize a part of their identity to blend in. I myself, in the 12 years that I spent in corporate America, found myself dialing into a more masculine version of myself to fit in with mostly male-dominated settings of which I worked. I wasn't being my true self. I wasn't bringing my full self to the workplace. And if that's you, and you have to be a different version of yourself in the workplace, your workplace isn't getting the amount of production it possibly get from you. It's certainly not getting the high quality ideas if you're having to do mental Olympics and hold yourself back or be a different version of yourself. And this happens a lot in the workplace. So even if you might identify as non-diverse, for our white male colleagues out there, I would argue you've had a time when you felt different, didn't belong, or experienced that covering, that filtering feeling. Sometimes we call that code switching. Think about a time when that might have happened to you. And what I want you to do is put pen to paper and write down that story. Write down the who, the what, the where, the when that makes a good story. Have that story arc of a good beginning, middle, and end. Rein it in, make it just a few minutes, and then share that story with your team. It is so eye-opening for people to see you as a human. It's a vulnerable exercise and an important trust-building exercise as a people leader especially. But for anyone in an organization to better understand you, share that story. And it doesn't have to be a formal speech. It could be in an email. It could be in a team meeting. It could be an icebreaker activity that you do and rotate through your team. In our workshop, Craft Your Diversity Story, we teach you how to write that story, how to share that story in a meaningful way with your team, and the key components that make an effective diversity story. We welcome you to check that out and more information at nextpivotpoint.com.